fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
Bunker under a bobber. Until this season, I can't remember when I last used a float in the salt. But a few weeks back, a friend showed me how to target stripers feeding on cinder worms using a small float. I'll talk about that sometime months later. But then in the last 2 weeks, striper sharpie Chuck Manny has showed me just how easy and effective it is to manage liveys under a bunker when those big striped bass are around. I'm Jim Hutchinson with the New Jersey Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine. The Northeast Striped Bass Study, that was the big fish that we caught this week, Chuck Manny. The Northeast Striped Bass Study, you know about it from 2019. We tagged 2 post-spawn stripers in the lower Hudson with MiniPSAT devices, $5,000–$6,000 satellite tags, put them in these 2 fish, and they did extraordinary things. They went so far offshore we couldn't even imagine it. Well, we're doing it again this year, and we raised a lot of money thanks to Fisherman viewers, Fisherman subscribers, fishing clubs and organizations, the folks at Tsunami, Navionics, AFW High Seas, Southernmost Apparel, the Recreational Fishing Alliance, and great donations from my friend Chuck Manny, who gave a big amount of money to get us some tags this year. We're hoping to go into this season with 5 or 6 tags, and then COVID-19 comes across, the state of Washington shuts down where those tags are from, and we didn't think we were going to get any. We didn't know we were going to be able to get out fishing again. A couple of weeks ago, we got 2 MiniPSAT devices, 2 of those satellite tags sent out here. So our original plan was last week, we wanted to meet in the lower Hudson River, right where we were last year with Chuck Manny, Dave Glassberg, Bobby Bowden was on board. We met with Frank Wagenhofer and Dave Rooney on Fin Chasers, and we met in Staten Island, and we worked our butts off between the Verrazano and Manhattan, Lady Liberty. We just couldn't find any fish. Luckily, in the morning, what we decided to do while I was fishing with Chuck is we went out and we stuck a satellite tag in a big fish, a 46.5-inch striper off the beaches of Monmouth County. So when we didn't get that Liberty fish, that where we had Liberty and Freedom last year, we came back, talked to the folks at Gray FishTag, and they said, listen, we've got 2 more tags coming up. And I was like, yes, well, now we've got 2 more. They'll be up here in another week or so. So we're hoping to still get in on that lower Hudson River bite. But we took this other tag this week, headed out with Chuck and Dave Glassberg, had Lou Grazioso on board as well. So this second tag, we wanted to go back out to where we tagged the first one last week. We got another one, a 45.75-inch fish. We'll call them 2 46-inch fish. But altogether, this week, I tagged another, with the green tags, we tagged another 12 fish. That was on Wednesday before we got chased in for the storms. Then I have tags from last week. I have all these striper tags of fish 41 to 46 inches. So yeah, that's good news. Those fish are here. 12 tags this week in North Jersey. But those fish are out there. The action is starting. In fact, we left fish to go up to the Hudson to try to find more fish, and lo and behold, on the way in, we found the bunker were being blasted out of the water by striped bass. Had a 40-pounder myself. Yes, even the blind squirrel gets a nut. So, but finally, we're finding out about these stripers that are blowing up on bunker. Central and North Jersey coast right now. This is the action that we were waiting for. So that action is going on, and some memorable catches for a lot of folks that are enjoying it. In fact, I've got received some emails this week that I really just loved. Chris Trubert said, he told me approximately 1 year ago this week, I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. God bless you. Our best wishes. But he and his buddy had partnered on a boat because he finds solace in fishing to take his mind off the disease. Well, they were fishing north of Shark River Inlet with his Pen 2 Battle. He had his 9-foot Star surf rod on board. They were outside of Shark River Inlet. He joined the 50-pound club over the weekend. Live lining bunker just about 300 yards off the beach in Deal. So that live bunker stuff is great, knowing that those bass are on bunker. With Chuck and our crew in the last week, we used live eels. Sometimes we used bunker. We caught them on plugs when they were blowing up on bunker as well. So that's good. Lester Dees also let me know that his wife Morgan, the 2 of them watch our report every week. Thanks. I appreciate that. They do a lot of fishing on the Delaware River, but when the action turns on, they chase the stripers throughout the state. Well, they spent the last couple of Saturdays on the Raritan, where the bite has been on fire. Had the pleasure of getting his wife out on the Irish Lady. She caught her personal best. Morgan's personal best was a 38-incher. She asked if I would share it with everybody. Of course we will. They got 7 fish while trolling mojos, majas, and SP minnows from 35 inches to over 40 inches. So yeah, the spoons are working, the mojos are working, the live bunkers, the SP minnows. This action is starting. Shark River, Manasquan, down to Barnegat, along those front beaches. This is what we wait for. So don't miss out on this. This opportunity is here. In fact, we found out this week from John at Betty and Nick's that the Surfcasters finally getting some of those pencils out and getting a couple of good fish as well. I typically find that the westerlies, when it's blowing offshore, that's where it seems the bunker are coming in a little bit closer. Those are your key conditions sometimes. That's when the no-see-ums and the black flies are just at their best. Looking at NOAA's forecast for the next couple of days, it looks like we're mostly southwest through Saturday, although it's supposed to blow a little bit farther offshore, directly offshore, westerlies Saturday night. So maybe by the end of the afternoon, you can sneak away, get up to the beach. When everybody's gone, take that plug bag, look for some of those fish in close. Perhaps on Sunday as well, although the forecast is for northerlies on Sundays, which is not too bad in terms of hitting the beach and getting in some striped bass. And that's what we're talking about, mostly northern Ocean County into Monmouth County as well. From the Atlantic County front, my friend Chris Madison says he's getting out of the wind along those sod banks, and he's still throwing those ripper shads to some good striped bass on the sod bank. So it's good those fish are still in the back bay. Out front in Atlantic County, spoke to Andy at Riptide Bait and Tackle in Brigantine. He said Steve had stopped by for a pint of clams before heading up and enjoying the sun on the beach. Got himself a 29-inch striper that way as well, that apparently he invited home for dinner. That's Atlantic County. So most of the folks in Cape May County may or may not be chasing striped bass. I know a lot of guys are hitting those jetties for some of those weak fish. And of course, in Cape May County, so many guys are going out in the party boats to take advantage of the sea bass action. This weekend, for example, if you can get out on one of the party boats, if you can sneak away, now that they're all running in Delaware, in New York, and also in New Jersey as well, the black sea bass bite has been phenomenal. Not a lot of pressure this spring, so your opportunity to get out there and load up on some tasty sea bass is right there. And all those party boats, don't forget, we have that limit here in New Jersey with black sea bass through most of June, so take advantage of that. Outside of that in Cape May County, it seems like everybody this time of year is geared towards that drum bite. It's gone off the hook. Great bite. We have the full moon on Monday, but the black drum bite should continue for the next several weeks down there on Delaware Bay. Jason Cohen let me know that he and his dad, they've been out banging on the drum the last couple of weeks, which is good to hear. John Canosa, he got in touch with me. He said he watched our video forecast last week when I mentioned Broadkill Beach on the Delaware side. So he got in his truck and he trailered his Sea-Doo Fish Pro all the way down there and said, yep, you were right. Got himself a nice dinner table sized drum by taking that Sea-Doo out there along the beaches of Broadkill. If you're down in Delaware and looking for action this week, don't forget the Joe Morris Memorial Tournament. That's this Friday out at Lewis Harbor Marina. That, of course, is a great summer flounder tournament, and all the proceeds going to benefit the fight against pancreatic cancer. So good luck if you're competing in that contest in honor of the late, great Joe Morris. Our first doormat fluke in New Jersey came through just at the end of last week. Found out from the folks at Captain Bill's in Point Pleasant late in the week that Don Knoll Sr. of Howell registered a 31-inch, 10.4 pounder out front, apparently, on his boat. So that's good to know that some of those big fish are out front of the inlets. I know a lot of folks love to fluke fish and head out the inlet. They want to get as far away from dry land as possible. Well, some of those big fluke are in there. I know personally, a lot of folks, myself included, would prefer chasing those doormats, summer flounder, fluke, good sized fish in the back bays in our salty rivers where those fish are lined up in the shallower water where it's warmer first. I found out from Rich Gallo, he said the back bays of Wildwood produced a 6-pounder, which is a good fish, for Anthony P. and the boys. So break out the bucktails and gulp, get yourself back there on skinny water. It's great for the center console and get the family out there this weekend. And that's where you'll probably find the fluke, although seeing that big doormat, it's good to know that they're out in the wreck sites as well. We've got some good sweetwater reports from the Passaic out to the Delaware and on into Wallenpaupack. Let's check in with George, our Pocono Outdoors Guy.
Well, thanks, Jim. You know, there's just a bunch of crazy stuff happening in the world right now, but I think it's time to talk about some things that are positive. So some of the great things happening here over by the Delaware River, there's a lot of great fishing going on. I was talking to river guide Tim Keebler. He said the striper bite right now is on fire. They're doing a lot of light tackle fishing, getting them on plugs and jigs, and what a great way to start off the fishing season this time of year. Also, you know, the Passaic River is really paying dividends. A lot of guys are catching some great pike, and I hear they've been catching them non-stop, so there's a lot of good out there. Here's Justin Lerner with a beast that he caught out in the Passaic. So you guys take a tip from Justin to get out there and go after some of them pike. Now, bass are still up on the beds, they're spawning pretty good right now. Here's TJ Zeller's got a nice little bass out kayaking here in some local waters as well. Lots of good fishing. Try to stay positive, everybody stay safe, and get out, get on them. From Pennsylvania, I'm George, your Pocono Outdoors Guy.
Make sure you find George, the Pocono Outdoors Guy, POG, or George Shower on Facebook. Great guy, but he's also got a weekly podcast. He asked me to join him this Sunday at 6 o'clock. I've got the fishing reports for next week's edition due, but as soon as I'm done, I'm going to be on George's podcast. We're looking forward to talking a little bit about fluke and striped bass, my favorite topics. Shark season is underway. Obviously, with COVID-19, we lost a lot of tournaments this season, but the folks in South Jersey tournaments down there at South Jersey Marina, they're continuing with their offshore tournaments, and they've got that shark tournament that's going on this week. It's already underway. The first day of fishing is Thursday. It's Captain's Choice Thursday through Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday's not looking so pleasant offshore. It's a little bit of a heave. It starts to loosen up a little bit Friday. I'm sure most of the guys are going to be out Friday and definitely into Saturday. It looks like the shark fishing is going to be pretty good. Still a little bit of a heave offshore. I think it's 3 to 4s, 3 to 5s forecast at this point. Keep an eye on the weather forecast, but that's always good for shark fishing. Helps with your drift a little bit. Don't forget about our tournament, of course. It's over at the Fisherman magazine, the Coastal Kayak Clash. It's underway for you kayak anglers, and it's good to see a couple of Jersey boys on that board right now with fluke and also bluefish. Jersey guys, Jersey girls, if you fish on a kayak, I don't care if you're male, female, I don't care what, but make sure if you're in Jersey, get in that tournament. We've got to hold our own here. I'm hating to see Long Island and our New England guys always winning it. So if you fish from a kayak, you got to go to the website, check it out. Multiple species. It's a photographic contest, but all kinds of great prizes at the end. You're going to love it. Go to thefisherman.com, find out more information about the Coastal Kayak Clash. You can also find out all the information in our June edition. The June edition just came out this week. You subscribers should get it in the mail. By the time you get this video, you'll probably have it in your mailbox. A lot of good stuff on bluefin tuna, hence the cover. Nick Honachewski's got a great article. Cat Korth with some summer flounder options. A great edition. It's arriving in your mailbox this week. If you're looking for it, you can go to those essential locations like a Wawa. I'm sure they're there. And of course, a lot of the tackle shops and the marinas have them as well. Pick that up and enjoy it. And we will be coming up with another weekly edition for you subscribers next week. Like I said, have a great weekend. Don't forget about those striped bass. Don't wait. If you're looking for a personal best, those big stripers are out along the beaches right now. They're chasing bunker. I don't care that you have to release an over 38. There's nothing like catching a 48 and saying, yeah, I caught that and I released it. Maybe check into Gray's fish tags, put a green tag in it as well. Catch them up. We'll see you again next weekend or next week right here at thefisherman.com.
Steigercraft boats, built by people who fish our waters. Serious anglers choose Steigercraft for their 40 years of boat building experience right here in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. Visit steigercraft.com for a dealer near you.